$9 billion. That's how much the most expensive yacht in the world costs. But what makes it worth that much? In this video, we're counting down the top 15 most insanely expensive yachts ever built. And let me tell you, these things are basically small countries on water. Lady Moura, the OG floating palace. You think a $100 million yacht is fancy? Wait till you see Lady Moura. This 344-foot monster was built back in 1990 for Saudi businessman Nasser al-Rashid. And let me tell you, this thing's got features that'll make your jaw drop. First off, Lady Moura's got a beach club that opens right onto the water. Yeah, you heard that right. A beach on a boat. Imagine chilling on your own private sandy shore while cruising the Mediterranean. That's next level luxury right there. But that ain't even the craziest part. This floating palace has a pool with a retractable roof. When the weather's nice, you can soak up the sun. When it's not, just close the roof and keep on swimming. It's like having your own private water park that follows you around the world. And get this, there's a 59-foot dining table made of solid Carrara marble. Talk about extra. This table's probably worth more than most people's houses. Just picture the fancy dinner parties you could throw on that thing. Lady Moura's also got a helicopter pad, cause why not? When you're this rich, you don't want to waste time taking a boat to shore. Just hop in your chopper and fly off to wherever you want. The yacht's got room for 30 guests and needs a crew of 60 just to keep it running. That's like having a small hotel staff catering to your every need while you're out at sea. This floating mansion was built for over $200 million back in the day, but with inflation and all the crazy features, it's worth way more now. Some experts say it could fetch over $210 million if it ever went up for sale. But trust me, we're just getting started. Lady Moura might seem insane, but it's actually one of the more modest yachts on our list. Next up, we've got a yacht that makes Lady Moura look like a rubber ducky in comparison. This next one's got features that'll make you wonder if you're even on a boat anymore. Al Mirqab, Qatar's floating 5-star hotel. Think Lady Moura was wild? Al Mirqab's about to make it look like a kiddie pool. This next yacht's got a spa that'll blow your mind. Al Mirqab ain't just a yacht, it's basically a floating 5-star hotel. This 436-foot beast belongs to Qatar's former Prime Minister, Hamad bin Jassim bin Jaber Al Thani. And let me tell you, this guy knows how to live large. First off, Al Mirqab's got 10 suites that can fit 24 guests. But these ain't your average hotel rooms. Each suite is bigger than most people's apartments. We're talking massive bedrooms, fancy bathrooms, and views that'll make you forget you're even on a boat. But that's just the beginning. This yacht's got amenities that'll make your head spin. There's a cinema on board, so you can catch the latest blockbusters while cruising the open seas. And if you're feeling a bit warm, just take a dip in the indoor pool. Yeah, an indoor pool on a yacht. These billionaires are something else. And of course, it's got a helipad. Because when you're this rich, you don't waste time with regular old boats to get to shore. Just hop in your chopper and fly off to wherever you want. But here's the real kicker. Al Mirqab's got a spa that covers an entire deck. We're not talking about some tiny massage room here. This is a whole floor dedicated to pampering. Massages, facials, steam rooms, you name it. It's like having your own private luxury spa following you around the world. Now, you might be wondering how much all this costs. Well, Al Mirqab set its owner back about $250 million. But for a guy like Hamad bin Jassim bin Jaber Al Thani, that's probably like buying a fancy watch. When you're worth billions, dropping a couple $100 million on a yacht is no big deal. This floating palace is so massive, it needs a crew of 60 people just to keep it running. That's like having a small hotel staff catering to your every need while you're out at sea. From the captain to the chefs to the spa staff, there's always someone around to make sure you're living your best life. But if you think Al Mirqab is impressive, just wait till you see what's next on our list. We've got yachts coming up that'll make this one look like a rubber ducky. We're talking submarines, missile defense systems, and features so crazy you won't believe they're real. Stick around, cause things are about to get even wilder. Dilbar, the biggest yacht by volume. Alright, you thought Al Mirqab was wild. Hold on to your life jackets, cause we're about to dive into a yacht so massive it makes aircraft carriers jealous. Ever wondered what happens when you cram the population of a small town onto a floating luxury palace? Dilbar's about to show us. Dilbar ain't playing around. This thing's the biggest yacht in the world by volume. Yeah, you heard that right. It's not just long, it's chunky too. We're talking 512 feet of pure luxury, weighing in at a whopping 15,917 tons. That's like putting 3,000 elephants on a boat. Imagine that for a second. This floating monster belongs to Russian billionaire Alisher Usmanov. And get this, he dropped a cool $600 million on it. That's more than some countries' GDPs. But when you're worth billions, that's probably like buying a fancy watch or something. Now let's talk features. Dilbar's got 2 helipads, cause one just ain't enough when you're this rich. Gotta have options for your choppers, right? But that's nothing compared to its swimming pool. This thing's got a 25-meter pool on board. That's the biggest pool ever put on a yacht. You could practically hold Olympic trials in there. But here's where it gets really crazy. Dilbar needs a crew of 96 people just to keep it running. That's more staff than most hotels. Imagine having almost 100 people at your beck and call while you're cruising around the Mediterranean. That's some next-level luxury right there. And if you thought that was wild, get this. Dilbar's got a garden on board. Yeah, you heard me right. A garden on a boat. These billionaires are really something else. While the rest of us are struggling to keep our houseplants alive, Usmanov's got a whole ecosystem floating around with him. But here's the kicker. Dilbar's just the warm-up. Yeah, this 917-ton beast with its Olympic-sized pool and floating garden is just the beginning. The next yacht on our list is even crazier. We're talking features that'll make Dilbar look like a rubber ducky in comparison. So stick around, cause things are about to get even wilder. We've got yachts coming up with submarine garages, missile defense systems, and features so insane you won't believe they're real. This is just the tip of the iceberg, folks. The world of billionaire yachts is about to blow your mind. Dubai, the royal mega yacht. Remember those submarine garages I mentioned? Well, Dubai's about to show us what happens when you give a sheikh unlimited money and tell him to build a boat. This ain't just a yacht, it's a floating city that makes other boats look like bath toys. Dubai belongs to Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the ruler of Dubai. This thing's 531 feet long. That's like 1.5 football fields on water. But size ain't everything. It's what's inside that'll blow your mind. First off, Dubai's got a mosaic swimming pool. We're not talking about some little puddle here. This pool's so fancy, it's basically art you can swim in. And if that's not enough, there are multiple jacuzzis scattered around the yacht, cause one hot tub just ain't enough when you're a sheikh. But here's where it gets wild. Dubai's got its own disco. Yeah, you heard that right. A whole nightclub on a boat. Imagine partying in the middle of the ocean with the Sheikh of Dubai. That's some next level stuff right there. And if you're not in the mood for dancing, no worries. This yacht's got a squash court and a cinema too. You can work up a sweat or catch a movie without ever leaving the boat. It's like a whole resort floating on the water. But wait, there's more. Dubai's got a landing platform for a Black Hawk helicopter, not just any chopper but a military-grade beast. Cause when you're this rich, why settle for a regular helipad? Now get this. Dubai can fit 115 people including guests and crew. That's like a whole village on water. You could throw a massive party and still have room for all the staff to keep things running smooth. But here's the kicker. Dubai's got a submarine garage. Yeah, you heard that right. A garage for a submarine on a yacht. These billionaires are really living in another world. All this luxury didn't come cheap. Dubai cost $400 million to build, but for a sheikh, that's probably like buying a Happy Meal. When you're running one of the richest cities in the world, dropping that much on a boat ain't no thing. And if you think Dubai is wild, just wait till you see what's coming up next. We've got yachts with missile defense systems, floating gardens, and features so crazy you won't believe they're real. This is just the beginning, folks. The world of billionaire boats is about to get even crazier. Al Said, Oman's royal yacht. You thought Dubai was crazy? Hold on to your life jackets, cause we're about to set sail on a yacht that makes even the richest sheikhs jealous. Ever wondered what it's like to have a full orchestra perform in the middle of the ocean? The Sultan of Oman's got you covered. Meet Al Said, the floating palace of Sultan Qaboos bin Said Al Said. This beast is 508 feet long and can host up to 65 guests. That's like having a small luxury hotel cruising the seas. But here's the kicker. It needs a crew of 140 people just to keep it running. That's more than 2 staff members for every guest. Now, let's talk about the craziest feature on this thing. Al Said's got a concert hall that can fit a 50-piece orchestra. Yeah, you heard that right. A whole orchestra on a boat. Imagine chilling on deck while a full symphony plays just for you. That's some next-level entertainment right there. But that ain't all. This yacht's got 6 decks packed with luxury. It's like a skyscraper lying on its side and floating on water. And get this, it's even got its own hospital. Because when you're this rich, you don't want to wait for a helicopter to take you to shore if you get seasick. Al Said cost about $300 million to build. That's like buying a small island, but this island can move around. The Sultan probably spent that much on the gold faucets alone. And here's something wild. This massive floating palace can hit speeds of 25 knots. That's pretty fast for something bigger than most buildings. The Sultan uses Al Said for state visits. Just picture this massive yacht pulling up to another country. It's like saying, yeah, I'm kind of a big deal, without even opening your mouth. Talk about making an entrance. But don't think Al Said is the end of our crazy yacht journey. Nah, we're just getting started. The next yacht on our list is even more mind-blowing. We're talking about a boat so quiet, it could sneak up on a submarine. A yacht with more swimming pools than some resorts. So stick around, because things are about to get even wilder. We've got yachts coming up with features so insane, you'll think we're making them up. But trust me, when you're a billionaire, nothing's too crazy when it comes to boats. This is the world of floating palaces, where the rich and famous compete to see who can build the most ridiculous yacht. And let me tell you, the competition is fierce. Topaz, the silent giant. You think Dubai was wild? Well, meet Topaz, the ninja of super yachts. This thing's so quiet it could sneak up on a whale. But don't let its stealth fool you. Topaz is a 482-foot beast that belongs to Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the Deputy Prime Minister of UAE. Now let's talk features. Topaz ain't messing around with just one helipad. Nah, it's got two of them. Cause when you're this rich, you need options for your choppers. And swimming pools? This yacht's got three. That's right, 3 pools on a boat. It's like having your own water park in the middle of the ocean. But Topaz ain't just about fun and games. It's got a cinema for when you want to catch a flick, a gym to stay fit while you're cruising, and even a conference room. Yeah, a conference room. Because when you're a billionaire, business never stops, even when you're chilling on your mega yacht. Now, you might be wondering how much all this costs. Well, Topaz set Sheikh Mansour back about $527 million. That's more than some countries' GDPs. But for a guy who owns Manchester City Football Club, that's probably like buying a fancy watch or something. Here's where it gets really cool. Topaz has got these special stabilizers that keep it steady even when the sea gets rough. So, while us regular folks are getting seasick on a dinky little boat, these billionaires are sipping champagne without spilling a drop, no matter how choppy the water gets. This floating palace can fit 62 guests and needs a crew of 79 just to keep it running. That's like having a small cruise ship all to yourself. Imagine throwing a party with 60 of your closest friends and still having more staff than guests. That's some next-level luxury right there. But here's the craziest part. Despite being bigger than most buildings, Topaz is surprisingly quiet. It's got some high-tech engine system that keeps the noise down. So this massive yacht can cruise around without disturbing the peace. It's like a floating stealth bomber, but way more luxurious. Topaz has got 8 decks. 8! That's more levels than some apartment buildings. You could probably get lost on this thing if you're not careful. It's like a floating city with everything you could ever need or want. But if you think Topaz is impressive, just wait till you see what's next on our list. We've got yachts coming up that'll make this one look like a rubber ducky. We're talking about boats with their own missile defense systems, underwater viewing rooms, and features so insane you won't believe they're real. The world of billionaire yachts is about to get even crazier. Serene, the yacht that impressed Bill Gates. Alright, you thought Topaz was wild? Well, Serene's about to make waves. This yacht's so fancy, it got a tech legend to shell out millions just to rent it for a week. And trust me, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Serene ain't your average billionaire's toy. This 439-foot monster belongs to Mohammed bin Salman, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. Yeah, we're talking royalty here. And let me tell you, this guy knows how to live large. First off, Serene's got an underwater viewing room. Yeah, you heard that right. You can watch fish swim by while you're chilling on your yacht. It's like having your own private aquarium, but way cooler. Imagine sipping champagne while sharks swim past your window. That's some next-level luxury right there. But that ain't all. Serene's got 2 helipads and a hangar, cause when you're this rich, 1 helicopter just ain't enough. You gotta have options, right? And if you're wondering where to park your choppers, don't worry. This yacht's got you covered. Now let's talk relaxation. Serene's got a massive spa that'll make your local wellness center look like a kiddie pool. We're talking multiple pools, steam rooms, and probably every kind of massage you can think of. And if that's not enough, There's even an indoor climbing wall. Yeah, you can work out while you're out at sea. These billionaires really think of everything. But here's the kicker. Serene cost about $330 million to build. That's like buying a small tech company just to float around on. But for a Saudi prince, that's probably like buying a fancy watch or something. This floating palace can fit 24 guests and needs a crew of 52. That's more than 2 staff per guest. Imagine having your own personal butler, chef and masseuse following you around on a yacht. That's the kind of service Serene offers. And get this, Serene was so impressive, even Bill Gates couldn't resist. Yeah, that Bill Gates, the Microsoft guy. He dropped $5 million just to rent this thing for a week. That's more than most people make in a lifetime just for a week on a boat. But when you're worth billions, I guess that's like paying for a night at a fancy hotel or something. But here's the thing, Serene is just the appetizer. Yeah, this 439-foot monster with its underwater viewing room and indoor climbing wall is just the warm-up. We've got yachts coming up that'll make Serene look like a rubber ducky. We're talking boats with their own missile defense systems, floating gardens, and features so crazy you won't believe they're real. So stick around, cause things are about to get even wilder in the world of billionaire yachts. A plus, the yacht with its own nightclub. What if I told you there's a yacht out there with a glass floor nightclub that lets you dance above a swimming pool? Sounds crazy, right? Well, buckle up, cause A+ is about to blow your mind with features you never knew a boat could have. A plus ain't just a grade, it's one of the most insane yachts ever built. This 483-foot party boat belongs to Russian billionaire Andrei Melnichenko. And let me tell you, this guy knows how to have a good time. First off, A+ has got a nightclub with a glass floor that looks down into the pool below. Yeah, you heard that right. You can dance the night away while watching people swim under your feet. It's like being in a fish tank, but way more luxurious. Imagine throwing a party on this thing. It'd make the wildest Vegas clubs look like a kid's birthday party. But that's not all. A+ has got 3 swimming pools. 3, and one of them is 100 feet long. That's longer than some people's houses. You could practically hold Olympic trials in that thing. And when you're done swimming, just head up to the nightclub and dance above it. These billionaires really know how to multitask their fun. Now get this. A+ has a helipad that turns into a squash court. 'Cause why waste space, right? When you're not landing your chopper, you might as well be playing some squash. It's like those convertible cars, but way fancier and on a boat. This floating party palace cost about $500 million to build. That's like buying a small airline or a bunch of private jets. But for a Russian billionaire, that's probably just pocket change. When you're worth billions, dropping $500 million on a yacht ain't no thing. A+ needs a crew of 54 people just to keep it running. That's more staff than most restaurants. Imagine having that many people catering to your every need while you're out at sea. Want a midnight snack? No problem. Feel like hitting the nightclub at 3 a.m.? They've got you covered. The yacht's so big and fancy, it's got its own submarine-like pod for boarding. Yeah, you heard that right. You don't just walk onto this thing. You enter through a special pod that attaches to the side of the boat. It's like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it's real and it's floating around the Mediterranean. But here's the thing. A+ is just another step in the crazy world of billionaire yachts. Yeah, this 483-foot monster with its glass floor nightclub and convertible helipad is wild, but we've got boats coming up that'll make this one look like a rubber ducky. We're talking about yachts with missile defense systems, underwater viewing rooms, and features so insane you won't believe they're real. So stick around, cause things are about to get even crazier in the world of floating palaces. Octopus, the explorer yacht. From nightclubs to submarines, the next yacht on our list takes exploration to a whole new level. What if I told you there's a boat out there that's basically a floating research lab, recording studio, and luxury hotel all in one? Octopus ain't just a yacht, it's a whole exploration vessel. This 414-foot beast was owned by Microsoft co-founder Paul Allen before he passed away. And let me tell you, this thing's got features that'll make your head spin. First off, Octopus has got 2 helicopters, 2 submarines, and 7 tenders. Yeah, you heard that right. Boats on a boat. It's like a whole fleet packed into one massive yacht. Imagine cruising around in your submarine while your friends chill on the main deck. That's some next-level stuff right there. But that's nothing compared to the recording studio. Octopus has got a full-on professional setup where Mick Jagger once laid down tracks. Rock and roll on the high seas, baby. You could make your whole album without ever touching land. And if you're not in the mood for making music, no worries. This yacht's got a glass-bottom pool, so you can watch fish swim by while you're taking a dip. There's also a cinema for movie nights and a basketball court for when you want to shoot some hoops. It's like having your own floating entertainment complex. Now, you might be wondering how much all this costs. Well, Octopus set Paul Allen back about $200 million to build, but for a tech billionaire that's probably like buying a fancy watch or something. When you're worth billions, dropping a couple $100 million on a yacht ain't no thing. But here's where it gets really wild. Octopus ain't just for fun and games. This thing's been used for some serious exploration. We're talking about searching for sunken WU-2 battleships. Yeah, you heard that right. While other billionaires are sipping champagne on their yachts, Paul Allen was out there making history. The yacht's so high-tech, it's got a remote-operated vehicle that can dive to 3,000 meters. That's deeper than most submarines can go. Imagine discovering ancient shipwrecks while your friends are chilling in the hot tub above. That's the kind of adventure Octopus offers. But if you think Octopus is impressive, just wait till you see what's next on our list. We've got yachts coming up that'll make this one look like a rubber ducky. We're talking about boats with missile defense systems, underwater viewing rooms, and features so insane you won't believe they're real. So stick around, because things are about to get even crazier in the world of billionaire boats. Flying Fox, the spa lover's dream. You thought Octopus was wild? Well, buckle up, because we're about to dive into a yacht that's basically a floating spa resort. Ever wonder what it'd be like to chill in a cryo sauna while cruising the ocean? Yeah, that's a thing. Flying Fox ain't just a yacht, it's a whole wellness center on water. This 446-foot beauty reportedly belongs to Jeff Bezos, but he denies it. Whoever owns it, they sure know how to relax in style. First off, Flying Fox has got a 2-deck spa that covers 4,305 square feet. That's bigger than most houses. Imagine having a whole mansion dedicated to pampering, but it's on a boat. You could spend days in there and never get bored. But that's nothing compared to the swimming pool. This thing's 39 feet long and runs from port to starboard. That means you can swim laps while looking out at the ocean on both sides. It's like you're swimming in the sea but without all the salt and fish and stuff. Now get this, Flying Fox has got a cryo sauna. Yeah, you heard that right. A cryo sauna on a boat. For those who don't know, that's like a super cold sauna that rich people use to feel good or something. Imagine freezing your butt off in minus 150-degree temperatures while floating in the Mediterranean. That's some next-level rich people stuff right there. But wait, there's more. This yacht's got a cinema for when you want to catch a flick, and a gym for when you feel guilty about all the fancy food you've been eating. It's like a whole resort that follows you around the world. All this luxury didn't come cheap. Flying Fox cost about $400 million to build. That's like a week of Amazon's profits. But when you're as rich as Bezos, if it really is his, that's probably like buying a fancy watch or something. This floating palace can fit 25 guests and needs a crew of 54. That's more than 2 staff for every guest. Imagine having your own personal butler, masseuse and chef following you around on a yacht. That's the kind of service Flying Fox offers. But here's the thing, Flying Fox is just the warm-up. Yeah, this 446-foot monster with its massive spa and cryo sauna is wild, but we've got yachts coming up that'll make this one look like a rubber ducky. We're talking boats with missile defense systems, underwater viewing rooms, and features so crazy you won't believe they're real. So stick around, cause things are about to get even crazier in the world of billionaire boats. Eclipse, the yacht with its own missile defense system. From missile defense systems to underwater viewing rooms, the next yacht on our list takes luxury to a whole new level. Eclipse ain't just a yacht, it's basically a floating fortress. This 533-foot monster belongs to Russian billionaire Roman Abramovich. And let me tell you, this guy doesn't mess around when it comes to security. Eclipse has got its own missile defense system. Yeah, you heard that right. A missile defense system on a yacht. It's like having your own personal military ship, but way fancier. But Eclipse ain't all about defense. This thing's got party features that'll make your head spin. It's got 2 helipads, cause one just ain't enough when you're this rich. And get this. There are 24 guest cabins. That's like a whole hotel floating on water. You could throw a massive party and still have room for all your billionaire buddies. Now let's talk about the fun stuff. Eclipse has got a disco hall. Imagine partying in the middle of the ocean with the latest beats pumping. But that's nothing compared to the swimming pool. This thing's 16 meters long and can be converted into a dance floor. So when you're done swimming, Just flip a switch and start dancing. It's like having two parties in one. But wait, there's more. Eclipse has got its own mini submarine that can dive to 50 meters. 'Cause why look at fish through a glass bottom when you can go down and see them up close? It's like having your own underwater explorer attached to your yacht. All this luxury and security didn't come cheap. Eclipse cost about $500 million to build. That's like buying a small country or a bunch of private jets. But for a Russian billionaire, that's probably just pocket change. When you're worth billions, dropping $500 million on a yacht ain't no thing. This floating palace is so big, it needs a crew of 70 people just to keep it running. That's more staff than most hotels. Imagine having that many people catering to your every need while you're out at sea. Want a midnight snack? No problem. Feel like hitting the disco at 3 a.m.? They've got you covered. Eclipse is so high-tech, it's got anti-paparazzi shields. Yeah, you heard that right. It uses lasers to detect camera sensors and block them. So these billionaires can party in peace without worrying about ending up on the front page of some gossip mag. But if you think Eclipse is crazy, just wait till you see what's coming up next. We've got yachts with even more insane features. We're talking about boats that make Eclipse look like a rubber ducky. So stick around, because the world of billionaire yachts is about to get even wilder. Dubai, the floating city. You thought Eclipse was wild? Hold on to your hats, because we're about to tour a yacht that's basically its own country. Ever wonder what it'd be like to live in a floating city? Well, one sheikh decided to find out. Dubai ain't just a yacht, it's a whole floating metropolis. This 531-foot monster belongs to Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the ruler of Dubai. And let me tell you, this guy knows how to live large on the water. First off, Dubai's got a mosaic swimming pool that's so fancy, it's like swimming in a piece of art. But that's nothing compared to the multiple jacuzzis scattered around the yacht. 'Cause why have just one hot tub when you can have a bunch, right? Now get this. The yacht's got a helipad that turns into a golf driving range. Yeah, you heard that right. 1 minute you're landing your chopper, the next you're teeing off into the ocean. It's like having your own country club on water. But wait, there's more. Dubai's got a squash room for when you want to work up a sweat, and a disco for when you want to party. And if that ain't enough, there's even a submarine. 'Cause sometimes looking at fish through a window just ain't enough. This floating palace can fit 115 people, including guests and crew. That's like a whole neighborhood on water. Imagine throwing a party with 100 of your closest friends and still having enough staff to keep everything running smooth. Now, you might be wondering how much all this costs. Well, Dubai set Sheikh Mohammed back about $400 million, but for a guy who rules one of the richest cities in the world, that's probably like buying a fancy watch or something. And get this, the yacht's got a grand staircase made of glass, 'cause normal stairs are too boring for billionaires. Imagine walking down that thing in your fanciest outfit, feeling like you're floating on air. But if you think Dubai is wild, just wait till you see the top 3 on our list. We're talking about yachts with features so insane, they make this floating city look like a rubber ducky. So stick around, 'cause things are about to get even crazier in the world of billionaire boats. Azam, the speed demon. Alright, you think Dubai's a floating city? Well, buckle up, 'cause we're about to zoom past it at breakneck speed. Ever wonder what happens when a sheikh decides he needs to get somewhere fast, like really fast? Meet Azam, the yacht that's basically a rocket ship on water. Azam ain't just big, it's fast. Like, seriously fast for its size. This 590-foot beast belongs to Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the president of UAE. And let me tell you, this guy doesn't mess around when it comes to speed. This thing can hit speeds of 32 knots. That's like 37 miles per hour, which is insane for something this massive. Imagine a skyscraper zooming past you on the water. That's what Azam looks like when it's going full throttle. But Azam ain't just about speed. It's got some serious security features too. The yacht's got a bulletproof master suite and its own missile defense system. Yeah, you heard that right. A missile defense system on a yacht. These guys don't play around when it comes to safety. And get this, Azam's so high-tech it can launch without anchors using thrusters. That's like a spaceship taking off, but on water. No need to wait around for the crew to pull up anchors. When Sheikh Khalifa wants to go, he goes. Now you might be wondering how much all this speed and tech costs. Well, Azam set Sheikh Khalifa back about $600 million. That's like buying 3,000 Lamborghinis. But when you're the president of UAE, that's probably like buying a fancy watch or something. This floating speed demon needs a crew of 80 people just to keep it running. That's more staff than most hotels. Imagine having that many people catering to your every need while you're zooming across the ocean at 37 miles per hour. Azam's so big and fancy, it's got its own submarine bay, cause why look at fish through a window when you can go down and race them? It's like having your own underwater speedboat attached to your super fast yacht. But if you think Azam is impressive, just wait till you see the top 2 on our list. We're talking about yachts with features so insane, they make this speed demon look like a rowboat. So stick around, cause things are about to get even crazier in the world of billionaire boats. REV Ocean, the floating research lab. From missile defense systems to marine biology, our next yacht is taking a hard left turn. Ever wondered what happens when a billionaire decides to build a super yacht for science instead of showing off? REV Ocean ain't your typical billionaire's toy. This 600-foot monster was built by Norwegian billionaire Kjell Inge Rocker, but instead of filling it with gold toilets and disco balls, he packed it with labs and scientists. Yeah, you heard that right. Scientists on a super yacht. This thing's got research labs, a lecture hall, and can carry 60 scientists. It's like a floating university, but way fancier. And get this, REV Ocean can scoop up 5 tons of plastic from the ocean every day. That's more trash than most cities pick up in a week. But that's nothing compared to its exploration gear. REV Ocean's got a moon pool, which is like a giant hole in the middle of the ship for launching underwater vehicles. It's got submersibles that can dive deep into the ocean. And if that ain't enough, there's an ROV, that's a remote operated vehicle, that can go down 6,000 meters. That's deeper than most submarines can go. Now you might be thinking all this science stuff is cheap. Think again. REV Ocean cost about $350 million to build. That's like funding a small space program. But for a Norwegian billionaire, that's probably just pocket change. This floating research lab can stay at sea for 114 days straight. That's almost 4 months without touching land. Imagine all the ocean mysteries you could solve in that time. It's like going on a semester at sea, but with way better equipment. REV Ocean ain't just about looking good, though it does that too. This yacht's on a mission to save the oceans. It's got tech to map the seafloor, study fish populations, and even track climate change. It's like Captain Planet, but as a super yacht. And if you think regular yachts have fancy toys, get this. REV Ocean's got a trawling system that can fish at depths of 3,000 meters. That's like fishing in the twilight zone of the ocean. Who knows what kind of weird creatures they'll pull up. But if you think REV Ocean is mind-blowing, just wait till you see our number 1. We're talking about a yacht so insane, it makes this floating research lab look like a kid's science fair project. So stick around, cause we're about to dive into the craziest yacht ever built. History Supreme, the Golden Boat. You thought Azam was fast? Well, History Supreme is about to make your head spin. This yacht ain't just expensive, it's on a whole other level. History Supreme is supposedly owned by Malaysia's richest man, Robert Kwok. But get this, it's only 100 feet long. That's tiny compared to the other yachts we've seen. But don't let the size fool you. This thing's packed with more luxury than you can imagine. First off, History Supreme is made with 100,000 kilograms of gold and platinum. Yeah, you heard that right. The whole boat is basically a giant piece of jewelry. It's like sailing on a massive gold bar. But that ain't even the craziest part. This yacht's got a wall made from T-Rex dinosaur bones, cause regular walls are too boring for billionaires. Imagine chilling in your living room, looking at bones that are millions of years old. It's like having your own private museum, but on a boat. And if you're thirsty, History Supreme's got you covered. There's a liquor bottle with an 18.5 carat diamond on it. Just one bottle, mind you. Cause when you're this rich, why not drink from the fanciest bottle ever made? Now you might be wondering how much all this costs. Well, hold on to your wallet. History Supreme cost $4.8 billion to build. That's more than the GDP of some countries. It's like buying a small nation, but instead you get a boat. The master bedroom's got a meteorite rock feature. These billionaires are really something else. It's like sleeping in outer space, but with way more gold. History Supreme is the most expensive yacht ever built, by a long shot. It's in a league of its own. The other yachts on our list look like rubber duckies compared to this thing. But here's the wild part. Some people think History Supreme might not even be real. There's no proof it actually exists. It might just be a crazy story someone made up. But in the world of billionaire yachts, anything's possible. Who knows what these rich folks will come up with next?